Hi everyone, this is my third video with a reading. I'm still practicing, but I'm sure it's going to be fine. It's a reading that might not resonate with everyone because it's a collective one, but the person who needs it will probably find it, hopefully. And there might be some things that you can resonate with. I took two cards already. One was a power card, King of Swords. It's a card that shows intelligence, structure, focus. He's a very focused, got good strategies and stuff. It's a strong card, a strong man, a very good card. So that's a good power card. Then we have the underlying energy, which is Five of Pentacles. As you see, it's a little bit more sad, this card. It usually represents like the dark night of the soul. It could be difficulties in relationships, in economy, or whatever else, struggling. When you are in the dark night of the soul of the spiritual awakening process, it is usually, you are usually given challenges and setbacks and everything to release or to open up for new insights. And usually it is economy or materialistic things or relationships that needs to be released. We usually have several people in our lives that might not be good anymore. I don't know. But this is the underlying energy and the power card. So let's start. We obviously want to change the underlying energy. So let's take some cards about how we can make the change from find the light in our darkness, or so to speak. Especially if you have a spiritual awakening, because dark night of the soul is a very often very lonely time and very difficult, emotional, but also physical and social. Some cards about how to remove that. So let's see. Oh. Now they're starting to fall here. Okay, the underlying energy. Let's focus a little bit more about that. This is from an Angel Tarot card. I can see this is very common for this phase of the process. Nine of Air is Nine of Swords. It's about anxieties, negatives, worrying. Maybe you can't sleep. They're too much in your mind. Mind trolls, I usually call them. The overthinking and everything like that. It's very common when you have a difficult time in your life and the energies go very low, the frequencies, how you feel, how you respond to life, to what happens, triggers and stuff. So it is a time we don't want to be in. I have gotten the Seven of Fire in this Angel Tarot card. You see there's a man fighting lots of wands. It's about challenge. You need to find your motivation, what drives you to move forward. It will be a struggle to not defeat, I wouldn't say defeat. Yeah, defeat the darkness a little bit, not erase him, but defeat it. And yes, I call the darkness him, at least my darkness. Because the one that usually rules us is usually a dark little shadow self, you can call it whatever. I call it my darkness, the one who is built from my fears and insecurities and stuff. And most people are ruled by that often, and that is not usually the path your soul wants to go. And that's why we end up in the dark night of the soul. It's time to release what is no longer good for you. And with that comes challenges, it comes setbacks, but every setback, it's important to change your mindset if you feel like universe is punishing you with all the setbacks and every struggle that comes, because when you are in that phase, everything like attacks you and it can feel like you are being punished, but it's not like that. It is always happening because you are meant to change something on your path, go a new direction maybe, which is risky and a little bit scary, or to release something. It could be a mindset, it could be a shadow, it could be a person, energy thieving, anything. So all the setbacks, it's important to see them as something that is actually good, because it can make changes that you need. And I can actually see here one of the cards, Eight of Water. It's about searching, fulfillment. It's about moving into a new direction. So to leave this, you need this. As you see, she is following an angel, a new path, light. That is what we want to follow. We don't want to follow dark-minded man. And this is what we will read eventually. Ten of Water or Ten of Cups is an amazing card. It's all about the love, good relationships, moving forward, blessings. Find the light in your life, because if you have entered a spiritual awakening, and it seems like this is all about being in darkness, it will be a challenge, it will be struggling, it will be a lot of these cards, but it will lead you into a new direction where you find happiness, and we do like that. So how do we change into this? What do we need? Let's ask that. What do we need to change the darkness, to move from the dark night of the soul? Because it's not very easy to be there, actually. I have been for several months, years. It's not easy. Let's see how to move from it. The Lovers. We do like that card. I got the card The Dreamer. It is a card about new beginnings, to find your inner child, to let her come out. Because often we all have this darkness, fears driving us, not always, but it usually is. It is a part of us, because we can't have the light without darkness. We need a balance. But usually we have letting our inner child stay inside, and then there are layers of everything else, expectations and everything that is covering her little voice, and we don't want that. So this card is about starting new. You are protected, but be protected by the light. And to do that, you need to go into the dark, release it, or befriend it, as I say. And you will find love. And this doesn't have to be love to another person, but it could be. Maybe you already have it, but it is all about relationships, emotions, but also to yourself. Because they usually say that if you can't love yourself, how can you truly love someone else? And I think there is some truth in that, because usually we are energies, usually we do mirror each other. So if someone behaves not too good to you, it usually mirrors how they feel inside themselves. And we need to start with ourselves. If we want true happiness, true light, true love, all of that for the rest of our life, genuine, authentic one, we need to start with ourselves. So it's very important to find your love for yourself. And then we will have happiness. You see, they are dancing and they are having fun, break dancing or whatever they are doing. It is all about celebration. So when you have found a way to go inside, found yourself, your inner child, find your love, then you will remove yourself from this with worries and anxieties, and you learn to handle how to take care of your challenges that will come on your path, because they are there for a reason. And you will find abundance, happiness with yourself, with someone else, maybe if you don't already have it. But everything, when you feel good, everything will strengthen. And if you are in darkness, like if you are on a spiritual journey or a journey overall, you are searching for something new, um, to meet your darkness and to befriend it, show him or whatever you want to see it as. I see mine as a him. And you just let him know that it's time for him to be in the back seat so you can drive the car. He won't always like it because he has control all your life, probably. Because if you have a spiritual awakening, you probably have been very fear driven, and that is the darkness. But it's time for him to sit in the back seat, I'm thinking. So you can step out into the light, find your love for yourself, and maybe grow or get new from other people. I don't know, whatever situation you have. But every setback will strengthen you and make you a little bit stronger. And the stronger you are, the less fear driven you will be, the easier it will be to take chances and risks. Because when you step out into the light, when your energy truly is empowered, you focus and you go forward on the path that you are meant to walk on, the path towards light, it's going to be very risky and scary, because you will need to take chances and risks, and we as humans usually don't want to do that. We are safe with what we know, and but it is a good thing because it can change everything to the better. Let's take some cosmic cards. This is my new deck of cards and I like it a lot. Bought it on Temu for like $10 or something. It was very cheap, but it's really good. I do like it a lot. Okay. Let's ask universe if we can get more advice on how to change that underlying energy of the feeling dark and lacking, to find the light and happiness and the love for yourself and the love for others and light. Let's see what they can give us. Oh my goodness. Yeah. I'm actually not very surprised I got these cards. Transformation. It is all about what the journey is about. The spiritual and whatever journey, whatever you want to call it. But the person who found this video is probably on a growth journey of some sort. And it's all about transformation. It is all about growing and cleansing and releasing, shedding things to find your soul's true, authentic voice. That is what the transformative journey is about. So don't be afraid to confront your darkness. It will transform you. Embrace change. That is exactly what is needed to transform. You need to step out from what you know and might not be for you anymore, and embrace something to change. It could be anything, because change can give you new possibilities, open doors for you. Because when you leave something that is no longer for you, if it's a relationship, it could be a job, it could be anything really. If you leave that behind, new doors will open, possibilities, they will come to you. Because every time you leave something, anything else opens up. You just need to be like, see it, be open for it. Because if you're not open for it, you won't see it. And if you don't see it, there won't be any changes. There will just be like wandering around in darkness. Oh, I left this, but where am I going? Because I can't see any light. That is why I need to be open for the possibilities. And it might not be what you expected it to be, but it could be something very, very different and something that you need right now. Or a whole new pathway, a whole new life could open up for you if you just let yourself try. So embrace all change that comes, which means you need insights. And insights you get from, like, when you move inwards, you will probably find new aspects or new sides that you actually didn't even know you had. Because usually we live in a society where we are putting on masks because we have expectation. You need to behave this way or that way. You can't behave in a certain way. And oh, you can't do that. You don't have the money for that, and whatever else. We always stop ourselves because there are expectations we have on ourselves and that other people have on us. So when you start removing all this, you will get new insights. You will start seeing things from a broader perspective, which is a very good thing, because that means that you are expanding both your mindset and also your some behaviors. Maybe you can release something and you will find new ways of doing things that might work even better. So insights is very good, and they will come when you have your transformation going on. And on this card it says, insight is the fruit of wisdom. Keep a learning attitude. So yes, keep you open, broaden your perspective, and be willing to learn. Embrace new changes, to learn new things about yourself, maybe even. It's actually very good. I will take a little bit from my forest card. But looking at all these cards, I see it's definitely about someone who is struggling, who is in probably the dark night of the soul, who is doing a transformation at the moment. Maybe you realize it, maybe not, but there is light. If you mostly have setbacks and feel darkness, there are lights going to come if you just keep moving forward. And trust. This is the first time I actually got this card, Crystal Cave. Trust. You need to trust not only yourself, but also the process, universe, because you have a whole spirit team that is helping you, guiding you. The question is, are you hearing them? Are you seeing their signs? Because there are signs everywhere. The question is just, are you open for it? So if you open up a little bit for it, trust the process. It's not easy, trust me. I had huge issues trusting the process because I was too fear-driven. Didn't take any risks at all, because what if I fall? What if I lose everything and everything, the mind trolls. It took time, and it isn't easy to trust, but it is what you need. You need to learn to trust the process and to trust yourself, because we are often more capable of things than we thought we were. We have so much potential as humans, but we are very good at limiting ourselves, and we don't want that. So trust and courage, because when you are moving forward, when you are on your transformation journey, you will find new sides of yourself. You see things differently. Everything is like, I never noticed that before. Oh, that was quite fun. You know, I remember when I was in my dark night and suddenly I realized, oh my God, I'm not overthinking anymore. I sleep better at night because the mind troll isn't like ruling my brain all the night, because I had a lot of mind trolls, especially at night, evening, when I was lying in bed and it started going. I was building like castles of clouds and everything. We don't like that. So miracles. It's first time I got this card also. So it is like to remove yourself and get better energy than this lacking energy where everything that feels dark. You need to trust the process and trust yourself. Remember, you carry a lot of courage. And if you feel you can't do anything or you're too afraid to do anything, do it anyway, because you can be very surprised. And you can expect miracles. We can't always see when we are in that darkness or the negative mindset, and we going down that negative spiral and everything is shit. I'm not sure I'm not allowed to say that online, but I'm doing it anyway because that is truly how it feels. When you are in that darkness, it's very difficult to find the strength to see that there are miracles everywhere. It's just, it can be the smallest ones. It doesn't have to be like a grand, huge thing like this dream job all of a sudden. No, you might have to do a little bit more job to get where you want to go, but there can be a little miracles on the way. So always remember that, and always remember your potential, because you have so much potential. And I can see from all these cards, if I'm going to sum it up, that the power card as King of Swords is all about keep focus, keep your mind on the goal. Remember your awesomeness all over. But in the darkness, from the underlying energy, it can be difficult to see all your potential, to see your strength, how much courage you have, how much potential you have. You can't really see it because it's so dark. But there comes, if you keep walking forward, even if it feels dark, there will be challenges, there will be lots of negative thoughts. But if you take all these, collect it, and try to see it as, what am I going to learn from this? How can I get this to my advantage? Then you will start finding your path. And when you do, it can be a very scary path. You might not always like it, but it is always for your highest best anyway. And I have actually understood from my awakening that sometimes I needed to fall. Sometimes I needed a setback. Sometimes I needed the inner storms, as I call it, when the mind goes crazy and all is negative and I just don't want anything else than to disappear. It has happened through some of this cleansing, but it's always to release something or to change direction. And after every fall, when I rise, the frequency rise. So it can be really, really good. I need to have my hair up next time. So annoying. Sorry. But it is a good set of cards about transformation. If you feel that you are in the darkness, don't worry. There are lots of light ahead of you. If you just want to see it, and if you just want to change, embrace what changes come, because every setback, everything, it offers a change, and a change from what is no longer good for you, or for what is no longer like working on the frequency you are going to, because sometimes when you raise in frequency, something else gets left behind, and then it just drains energy from you. So sometimes we have to release things we like, care for, or people, but they are not so good for you. And it's difficult to release those kind of relationships or things, but it is often needed. And listen to universe. They will communicate, and signs. It can be a sign, a billboard or something when you're driving, or a song, something. If it speaks to you, it is meant for you. So listen and be aware. Sometimes we don't always like what they send down to us, but it is always for our highest best anyway. I need to keep that in mind sometimes myself. When things happen that I don't like, I'm trying to think it's for your best. You need to think anew. Try to change your mindset. Try to think about something else. Embrace changes because this doesn't work anymore. And always trust the process. I will stop babble now, but this is a very good reading, and especially if you are stumbling around in the darkness and don't really know how to find the light back. There are ways. Just be open and broaden your perspective, and you will see new possibilities. Maybe not always in the way you want them, but they will come. Finally, I will take a wisdom card. I have a new deck of cards also with self-care. So we'll take one of those. But let's take a wisdom. Or whatever comes to us. Oh, there were two of them. The Wise Woman of Wonderland. It's about compromising. It is about integrity. Stand your ground. Don't give in to something you feel is not for you just because it's expected from you. And always, the High Lady of Love and Compassion. Always remember your light. You're a good person, even when it feels like it's only darkness, and maybe you're not being so well treated, or maybe you're not treating another person so well. Be humble, be kind, be loving, because what you send out is what you get back. That's how it works. The universe doesn't answer your words, it replies on your frequency. It measures your where you vibrate, because that is how it works with energies. So always be aware of how you treat other people, or how you do something to someone or something, that it could get back to you, karma and all of that. I'm very aware now when I'm picking flowers and everything, because flowers are energies too, they're alive too. I don't want to drag it up. I get really bad conscience doing that. So I just want to take it good and care, because it's not nice feeling that you're hurting someone else, even if you're not intending it. So it can be like a comment on Facebook, because online there are lots of comments on reels and stuff, and people are so mean. People are so really, really mean, and it just proves how they are, or how they feel as persons, rather than, I don't know, people like attacking other people sometimes. So be aware about this and be humble. You probably are, but it's always good to keep in mind. Let's take a self-care card, especially when you feel bad. I mean, are in the darkness, when the energies and frequency are low, because it's a little bit in human nature actually. When we feel bad, we don't mind if the world feels bad too, and that's the wrong mindset. So let's take a self-care card. Oh, there was one. Damn it. There. And yes, as we had from the first card, where did that go? Focus. Power. Focus on what you want to try to manifest it, but also try not to focus on what you don't want, because there is a good chance you might get it actually. So that is all about manifesting. Manifestation is very good and it's very powerful, because when you manifest, it is on frequency level, and that is what universe listens to, as I said. So try to focus on what you want, not what doesn't work for you. We are good at doing that when we're in darkness also. All this shit is always happening to me. I remember I had it a lot also when I cleansed, and it's not a good thing, because that is not what universe listens to. Change, which was here. Embrace change. A resistance to change is a resistance to life itself. Open your heart and mind to new beginnings, is what this card says. And that is true. If we don't take the chance to make the changes necessary, we will keep stumbling around in that darkness of what it doesn't work for us. And surrender. Surrender is all about trust. Trust the process. Surrender to what signs and advice you get, guidance from above, because even if you don't always like their guidance and what they want you to do, it is always for highest best. So I have struggled with this a lot also, to surrender for the process. We do like to control. We do like to control what is going to happen. We want a certain outcome and we try to control it there, but it doesn't really work like that with them. we are not supposed to be in control. And this card says, stop trying to control life. It gets in the way of divine intervention. So yes, it's always the divine. They. I know universe don't like me saying this, but they speak about our free will. We have our free will. We are the creators of our own reality. That's true. The path change. That's why with these cards, it's guidance. It is not the definite truth, because if you choose another direction, everything changes. That's how it works. And we have our free will, absolutely. But they have power too. They have the divine guidance. They show us the correct path for our highest best. We don't always choose it, but we need to learn to surrender to, if we want to live our in the light, our truth best, it is good to follow their direction. But fears usually hinders us from doing that, and then we get other paths which might not always be the best for us. So if we can surrender to the process, trust the divine guidance, because they always want the best for us, even if we don't feel like it. I said that many times, but it is true actually. Then things will sort itself out. It's the best way to actually get out of this darkness, like in the dark night of the soul. I did realize that when I was there, that the sooner I started to listen to, what am I supposed to learn from this? Why does this happen? What direction should I go to? When you do that, you start to cooperate. Then it's teamwork on our level and their level. And I promise you, things will get easier. When you listen, when you trust, and when you surrender to the process, it will be easier when you're stuck in darkness. I resisted it because I tried to control it for so very, very, very long. I didn't understand that they want the best for you. Yes, you want to control, but it's not for you to control everything. Listen and follow. It's not always easy, but it is good for you. Usually. It takes some time. We are humans do like to control things, but not everything is for us to control. There are things that will happen. So if you go with them instead of choosing fears and insecurities and darkness, you will grow, and you will eventually, when you have released enough, you will eventually go into the famous flow. We do like the flow. I'm working towards it myself. That's why I do these videos. It's growth. Practice. Okay, now I babbled enough. But anyway, if you are in the darkest now, negative mindset and everything, please trust the process. Trust universe, even if you don't like the path they are directing you to, because the setbacks usually happens to go to that path. Please try not to fight it too hard, because it will be much easier if you cooperate, because they only want the best for you. The darkness is not bad in that sense, because he wants to protect you. The darkness is the fears and insecurities. No, I can't take that chance, because what happens if I fall? He wants to protect you, so he is not to be like demolished or something, but he needs to understand that you need to grow. So this is what this is about. I'm a shadow coach also, so if you have problems are lost in the darkness of the dark night of the soul, I have been there for a long while myself before I understood that cooperation with universe is the easiest way to get out of it. You could always contact me. I'm going to do an online course in the spiritual awakening, and to make your frequency higher, and so you can keep an eye on that. I will hopefully do it soon, so it could be good and helpful. I will talk a little bit about how you care for your energy, self-love, because it's all about the changing mindset, shifting mindset, caring for energy, find the inner love, and shadow work. The big four to get through a spiritual awakening in the best possible way and make you grow. Enough is enough. See you later. Bye.